The long dark took everything from us. It took our crops, our countries, and for many of us, our lives. We managed to survive underground, burrowed underneath the corpse that is this earth. So many years have passed, we have lost track of time. Yet there are still those who live with us that remember what the surface once was and long for its return. Balking against the mandates of the ordered government and the qui sustenant, there are those that would dare risk their freedom and even their lives to see one last glimpse of what the surface once was. We are the brave. We are the bold. We are the ones that seek the surface. We seek the land of Viridian, the one that was once promised to us.
Do I, lose the rest of my turn?
Well, you can try, but you're going to be rolling a disadvantage if you're doing ranged spells because you're grappled currently.
It's free. I'll try it. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does pass the threshold that I initially rolled, so yes.
Yo, good shit, Carrick. Hell yeah.
As this thing drags me in, Carrick's not giving up. He's, defiantly still gonna fight to the end, so blasting another Ray of Frost, point blank, 10 cold damage this time.
All right, 10 cold damage into the beast's mouth. Mouth?
Body?
Body, yeah.
Orifice?
Mass.
It doesn't really have an orifice. It's kind of just like an amorphous blob that is for some reason has limbs.
This fight is most unsatisfying towards Decimith.
Nah, he alright.
Listen, he is aight, but it's still unsatisfying.
Krusk, it is your turn. Your friend is being pulled towards a giant thing, but somehow manages to escape being absorbed.
Okay, so as quoted by the great Abraham Lincoln, let's get this shit on, homies. First thing I want to do is I want to rage because I'm going to need the temporary health.
Yep.
So I have to add 18 to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, oh yeah, is Billy still around?
Oh yeah. I need to roll a will save for him.
Yeah, fetch me my door, Billy.
I'm going to roll a will save for Billy.
Crusty young boy.
You look back, you kind of glance back because you're in combat mode and you're trying to have situational awareness, and you find that the door is right behind you. But as for your carrier,
all right, it's okay. He was unworthy. I'll find someone else. So anyways, okay, Zoo. Now say I wanted to throw a door.
It would be disadvantage and also based on your dexterity as opposed to your strength, which makes no sense to me, but that's how 5e is written.
That's straight up goofy. No, we're going to take this door and we're going to try... Carrick is still captured by this thing, right?
No, he managed to break free at the last second.
Oh, okay. Now I'm going to throw my door. That's for cowards. I'm going to hit it with my door.
Okay. Remember, it's disadvantage because you don't have the improvised weapon feat.
Okay, so how would I put in disadvantage on the sheet?
Roll twice and take the lower result.
I swear to God, Krusk does everything in his power to make every fight not in his favor.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It's really impressive.
What is it, 1d8?
It'd be 1d8 for damage.
Okay, for damage. All right. So to roll, what would it be? It'd just
roll,
be d20?
Yeah, d20 plus your strength.
Cool. Okay, so d20 plus, I think it's...
You are not proficient in doors, so no, you don't get to add your proficiency bonus.
No, I know that.
I think Krusk should get door proficiency if this goes on.
Yes, that'd be so good. So, does a 25 hit?
Yeah, but you have to roll again and take the lower result, remember?
Okay.
What the
How about a 20?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, yes, it does hit.
Very cool.
Now it's just a flat 1d8, right? It's not 1d8 with anything added.
1d8 plus your strength.
Oh, so good. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Krusk goes into a blood rage and then swings a giant door at a gigantic gelatinous monster thing, and the door finds purchase inside its supple flesh.
Now, I have a question for you, Zoom. Did you ever think you would ever have to say that in any campaign you ever did?
Every day I wake up There are things I never thought I would have to say that I end up having to say, and this is definitely one of the many on my laundry list of things. So
Good.
yeah, it does bounce off a little bit.
It's all right. It's all right. It's still a great weapon. I would want all of you to have doors if possible.
Yeah, don't need doors, only hands.
All right. It is the monster's turn. It sees you, Krusk,
Yes, it does.
seeing that you just did whatever the hell that was. And then it looks at Carrick, and then it looks back at Krusk, and then I roll a coin flip because both of you have damaged it. It decides that it likes Carrick more.
Of course it does.
Really?
Yeah. I literally rolled a 1d2 for a coin flip because you both did like equivalent damage to it. Carrick coming at you hot and ready.
Miss.
Does-
Damn.
Yes, it does. This like pseudopod shoots out of the thing and it like tries to brush at Carrick's clothes. And Carrick's clothes are full of icky sticky, but he is fine.
No, Carrick's in that, like, you know when you're playing an action game and, like, if you fuck up once, you're gonna die, and then magically you just don't fuck up anymore. He's on that level of, like, oh no. He's pulling moves you guys have never seen before.
Emberin, it's your turn.
Are there any frozen protrusions hanging off of this thing?
Frozen protrusions.
Right. Like, is anything more solid as a result of Carrick's Ray of Frost?
When you hit center mass, you did see that the material that this thing is made out of get a little harder. But aside from that...
Okay. Well, better than nothing. I'm going to try to focus fire on stuff like that.
Okay.
Right, fire 1.
Mm-hmm.
That might hit.
Yes. Yes, it does. All right. Roll me damage.
Colossus Slayer.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, that was actually a bad roll.
Fire 2.
Yep.
Ugh. That was a bad shot.
Yeah, that does not find purchase.
No. I feel like it skims off and goes wild.
It actually grabs the arrow out of the air and uses it as a tasty snack.
Ew.
The other 2 arrows that you embedded inside the thing, they're still there because they're stuck in the stuff like that zone. But that one's eaten.
Well, I was due for a bad shot, so... Okay.
Decimith, it is your turn.
We gonna do it again.
All right.
And I'm gonna attempt to roundhouse kick the gelatinous blob.
All right.
It's time. Let's try it again. Hell yeah, 20.
Good shit.
You find purchase, yes.
Boy, 10 damage. Let's go.
All right. Roll me insight, Decimith.
Insight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. 11.
It seems to be less large than it was initially.
Oh, we beating the hell out of this thing. Just beating the slag off of this. We're gonna keep going, actually.
We are, like, loading fucking damage on this guy.
I am going to, after the roundhouse, I'm gonna come back around with a right elbow to its gelatinous form. Just a 25 hit.
Yes, it does.
You gonna roll some of this young damage again? 6 damage.
All right.
I ain't done. Spending a key point.
All right.
Hey!
Flurry of blows. I'm going to
That's right.
attack it again.
Okay.
There's a 23 hit. I
Yes.
assume it does. More damage. 9.
Go, baby.
Just going off on this thing.
All the pent-up anxiety and
Yeah,
rage from not being able to participate in the prison fight has finally burst forth.
Roll me insight, Decimith.
Oh, more insight
Whoa.
again. That was my attack roll right there. So we're
Yep.
insight 23.
You notice that the blob is starting to schism,
Cool.
almost as if it's splitting in two.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Oh no. I don't like this actually.
Motherfucker is trying to be like an ochre jelly right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I thought it was, actually.
I'm gonna roll damage from the roll that I made before, which was a 23. 10 damage.
And with that, the creature schisms, and there is a shudder as the thing quivers,
Oh god.
and it splits.
Into a smaller
Yes.
pair. Oh, hell yeah, it's not adjacent to us anymore.
God. I don't know what.
The good news is they usually don't have as much health as the bigger one.
And With your insight roll, Decimith, you see inside the eye of this metaphorical hurricane, there are like faces that are kind of spiraling all the way down. Like a never-ending cylinder of just faces, like Janus style, inside the giant thing.
Oh, shit.
All mouths agape, various ages and various class, you can tell by like, scarification and stuff like that. All mouths agape. Almost mindless.
Is that inside this creature, or are we where we're stepping in?
Well, that's what Decimith sees.
Yeah. Let's say I relay the information to you guys as I back the fuck away, right back up behind Emran. Emran, you got this, right? Yeah, you got it.
I'm doing what I can.
Eric, it is your turn.
All right. Fuck. Decimith keeps backing off. I don't want to leave my boy alone.
Yo, Carrick, how many of those ice Duke ends do you have, dude?
Infinite.
Okay, good.
Carrick takes like a split second to try and wipe some of the slime off his clothes and just like angling the head sideways towards Krusk. I guess it's you and me, bud.
I'm chopped mushroom, I guess.
And then another blast. The one on the left. Does a 15 hit?
It does.
Alright, 15 damage. That's one off from max.
It pops, and then
Hell yeah!
and then another quivers out of this thing.
I'm staying where I am because I don't want Krusk on the front line by himself, so that's my turn.
All right, Krusk.
Um,
One popped, one re-entered.
do I notice anything about the creature that is causing its multiplication other than, we're beating the shit out of it? Like, is there some kind of core or something that needs to be destroyed?
What knowledges do you have?
Well, I'm crust, so hitting things, but I'll let you know in a second.
Just steam coming out of his ears.
You want to know if it has a core, so I'm going to assume that's going to be a nature check.
Okay.
You'd assume there'd be a core somewhere, but you're not sure what exactly this biology looks like, and a part of you admits you probably never want to know.
Yeah, good point. So I'm just going to keep beating crap out of it.
All right.
Now, I remember because at my level don't I get another attack, or is that
You do.
Okay.
You can also opt to attack recklessly to get a bit at extra damage.
Advantage on the swing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Reckless attack. Advantage on melee using strength. Okay, but attack rolls against you have advantage in next turn. I'm just gonna regular attack it.
Yes, that does barely find purchase.
10 damage.
I can only imagine the noise this makes.
Splork, splork, splork. Arg. And then it dies, I guess.
So you hit it. The thing mashes down, and it gets smaller.
Okay.
It's now half your size.
Good.
I can't make it any smaller than this, so just assume it's half your size.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still up. It's quivering. There's a hissing noise that starts coming from the thing. Almost like people are like shushing you. Like you're in a library and you're talking too loud. It's the monster's turn.
Do your worst, foul beast.
Said Decimith on the other side of the screen.
Do your worst, Krusk. Not to me, to Krusk.
Inside this snow-covered patch, because he was blasted with a ray of frost, there is another thing that comes out of the bog. It's this ashen-like thing. It's large. This thing has large reverse-jointed legs. You presume, from the look of it, it's about 16 feet tall, with beady eyes that are blank, just pitch black, and long, silver-like hair that is over the majority of its face, and this maw that reminds you kind of your ancestors, Krusk. And this thing roars with a hideous, and then it kind of turns into this very sweet, almost aria-like sound. And it turns to Carrick. I'm sorry, Carrick, you're just in the front lines, man.
Well, I didn't want Krusk alone, so I expected this.
Special thanks to our logo designer Sierra Twazin, to Toys and Things in Danvers, Massachusetts, Reaper Miniatures, and Mongoose Publishing. If you enjoy the show, help the podcast grow. Give us a follow on Twitter at Lords Broken, join the community Discord, and maybe consider offering a small tribute to the old ones on our Ko-Fi. All these links and more can be found in our link tree at linktr.ee/The Broken Lords. Thank you.
Podcast recommendations, you ask? Brian Wayne here, co-curator of The Apocalypse. And I know that sounds gnarly. That's because it is gnarly, man. The Apocalypse. What is The Apocalypse? The Apocalypse is a culmination of the gnarliest podcasts, independent podcasts the internet has to offer. So instead of trying to go to Twitter the next time you need a new podcast to listen to and try to get Twitter famous, podcast recommendations, please. Just think the apocalypse, man. And it's ironic because the apocalypse is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Just go to podchaser.com. It's in the top lists in the whole world. So whether you're looking for true crime, sports, role-playing, I don't know, anything. Think of a podcast. It's on the apocalypse. It's like the apocalypse with a D. And do not forget to follow the apocalypse on Twitter as well. Once again, that is the apocalypse. If you're looking for a podcast recommendation, the apocalypse is sure to have something for you. Podcast recommendations, you ask? Brian Wayne here, co-curator of The Apocalypse. And I know that sounds gnarly. That's because it is gnarly, man. The Apocalypse. What is The Apocalypse? The Apocalypse is a culmination of the gnarliest podcasts, independent podcasts the internet has to offer. So instead of trying to go to Twitter the next time you need a new podcast to listen to and try to get Twitter famous, podcast recommendations, please. Just think the apocalypse, man. And it's ironic because the apocalypse is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Just go to podchaser.com. It's in the top lists in the whole world. So whether you're looking for true crime, sports, role-playing, I don't know, anything. Think of a podcast. It's on the apocalypse. It's like the apocalypse with a D. And do not forget to follow the apocalypse on Twitter as well. Once again, that is the apocalypse. If you're looking for a podcast recommendation, the apocalypse is sure to have something for you.